I am just leaving IVIG and I found these in my car. I'm so glad that I hide snacks from myself so that I can find them when I really need them. Anyways, like I said, I'm just leaving IVIG and I realized that I haven't given you guys, I haven't done an IVIG update since the beginning of the year, so I thought I'll just give you a quick update on what's been going on with that. So, like I said, I'm just driving home from IVIG, and I realized I haven't given you guys an IVIG update since the beginning of the year. I think that was the last IVIG video I did, so I thought I'd do a little update. In that video, I had mentioned that I was in a research study. That video I filmed like right after my first infusion with the study drug, and I ended up not tolerating the drug at all. It was supposed to make me feel better and supposed to make me like handle the infusion better and feel better after, and I felt awful. By far my worst infusion to date. So he pulled me out of the study because clearly I didn't tolerate the drug and we're not really sure why. And then since then, I have had a really rough year. Like, I just feel like I've slid back majorly and I haven't gotten the same boost from IVIG. And that's not to say that, like, it feels like the drug flipped a switch, but I honestly, you know, that's putting a lot on one thing that is supposed to be out of your system within 3 days, so we're not really sure that that's it. Like, a lot has happened this year. You know, I started working and stuff. There's a lot of things that could be putting stress on my body, but I think it definitely was a factor, which is frustrating. So yeah, so since then, we've actually decreased my IVIG dose from 40 to 30 grams, and we also switched brands again, and I've started just adding more fluids on IVIG days. I do 2 liters of fluids on IVIG days plus my liter the day before and after. And lowering the doses definitely helps. One of the reasons we lowered the dose is because my C1 levels keep dropping. They've always been low, and then IVIG can drop them, but they just keep dropping and we can't get them stabilized. And my C4 is also low, and this is your complement system, which kind of goes out and manages inflammation and infection. I don't know all the details, so that's just like kind of generally what I know about the complement system. And so that's obviously a problem. Like, if those levels are low, I'm gonna have more inflammation, I can have more GI symptoms, like all my normal symptoms can be exacerbated. So that's not fun. So we lowered my IVIG dose until we can kind of like get my complement system evened out and figure out kind of what's going on. And so I'm still doing IVIG every 3 weeks. We just kind of changed the dose and brand again, and we're trying to figure out like what is going on. Right now, we're trying to get approval for a different C1 medication, because it was a C1 medication that I took during the study that caused my reaction, or that I didn't tolerate. So we're trying to get a different drug approved to see if I can take that and get my C1 levels up to start feeling better. We're just kind of trying to figure out why my fatigue is so bad again, why I've stopped benefiting or like feeling benefit from IVIG. Like, my immunoglobulin numbers are going up, which is, they should be, and that's a good thing, but a lot of other things are kind of out of whack, which is very frustrating. And like, for the first 6 months of IVIG up until the new year, I was getting a boost. Like, every time I do IVIG, I'd feel better for like the next week and a half, and then that would start to taper off, and then I feel kind of crappy like 5 days before my next infusion, and then I get my infusion, which is like what was supposed to happen. And that like boost period was supposed to get longer and longer until I would feel good throughout, like between every infusion. But now I have not been getting that boost at all, and my fatigue is freaking insane again. My GI symptoms are really bad. Like, everything's just flared up, which is so frustrating. You guys know, I know a lot of you who watch my channel have chronic illness, and you understand just how frustrating it is when you feel like something's working and then it doesn't, or your symptoms flare up or whatever. So that's kind of the deal. We're trying to work through all of that right now. That's like my IVIG update. This isn't very exciting, but I know some of you were curious what's been going on, and I haven't done an IVIG update in a while. So that's that for right now. did like a major health update recently, but like that's kind of the big changes is we're trying this other C1 medication. We ran some more blood testing to try and figure out what's going on, some genetic testing to see if I have like any like angioedema issues or some other issues. And like we just think my SIBO keeps coming back, but my insurance won't cover antibiotics and I don't want to keep taking them either. So we're trying to like work through that. And a question I did have for people though is that my B12 levels have always been really high, but my fatigue is always really bad. And my GI doctor last year ran a really comprehensive, like in-depth test that basically goes in and tests whether your cells are actually like utilizing the serum levels of B12 along with a bunch of other vitamins. And it was showing that my B12 was low like within my cells. So like my serum levels are always really high, but what I'm utilizing is really low. And we're not really, it's like an absorption issue. We're not really sure what's exactly is going on there. And we thought about maybe trying B12 shots. And I feel like I'm not opposed to that, but I've had some people tell me that that's like not the best thing to do if your serum levels are high. Because that's not really gonna, solve the absorption issue. And I'm just wondering if anyone has any suggestions on that or like any information or has tried that themselves, like high serum B12, then they did B12 shots to get better absorption and that helped or didn't help, because I'm trying to figure out what to do there. So that's kind of the big news. And if I think of anything else on the drive home, I'll update you when I get home. So it's a few days later and overall IVIG went all right this week so far. I just have been in this place where I just like have not wanted to talk about my health at all. Just kind of been struggling with it. I don't know. So this is just gonna be a short little IVIG update video and I will see you all in the next video.